Hello, it's Lena. Today I'm going to show you what I learned at the Houston Arboretum about planting native species to replenish the forest in my neighborhood. And maybe, just maybe, you'll try it too. Okay, so here are my twigs. So last summer I did a video about surviving the heat and how I deal with that with regard to the plants that I'm growing. And I talked about a species of trees that were dying everywhere. So I'm gonna cut to that video real quick and then I'll tell you about what I'm doing with these twigs that I got from the Houston Arboretum. We started having problems with a specific species of tree here that everywhere in the little suburb that I live, all over it, that one species of tree is dead. So they're getting cut down everywhere because they're just collapsing. I had to have 5 cut down. And it was very, very upsetting because one of the reasons we liked our house and one of the reasons we picked it is because it had a wooded lot. So this is what's left of it. This is the organization that gave me the baby trees. They didn't just give us these native species, they actually taught us how to plant them. And I'm definitely going to share that information with you guys. It took some pictures, took some advice, and it was just so much fun the entire day. So I have 3 species of trees here. I have a Mexican plum, and I have 2 American beauties. And then I have the elderberry. And then what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to plant them in the yard to try to replenish the trees that died of that weird disease. And because the forest is a living thing, there are always trees that are dying and being born. And I've managed to protect some little baby saplings that were growing on the edge of the forest behind my house. And now they are full-grown trees. I'm going to show you. So there's Whisper's collapsed fort, but this was a sapling that almost got chopped with a weed whacker, and I stopped at the last moment and realized this is a baby tree. And in the 5.5 years we've lived in this house, that tiny little thing that I almost weed whacked by mistake is a tree, and she's gorgeous. So if you want to, you can take a screenshot of this image. This is just basic info on how to plant a tree. This is particularly for a good sized tree, a 5-gallon pot or larger. But the same rules apply to little baby trees like I'm going to plant. But I'm going to use a little fence to keep them safe in the meantime from weed whackers. So the next few images are what I took during our trip to the Houston Arboretum when they were teaching us how to plant the trees. They said you got to get the right kind of shovel. You got to dig a hole that's the right size and depth. Make sure you don't pack the soil down hard. Try to use natural bark mulch, but never let it touch the trunk. And build it into a little mound around the trunk. To water your baby tree, you want the water to seep into the ground around where the root ball is, about the depth of a screwdriver if you were to stick it in the soil. You want to water your baby trees at least once a week or every 7 to 10 days, and then reduce that as the tree grows over the next 3 years. And it's best to use a soaker hose or to let your hose drip for at least 30 minutes. To fertilize your baby tree, you should never let the fertilizer touch the trunk. And you should use a slow release fertilizer spread out around the root area. Or you can also use a stake fertilizer. Most trees need to be fertilized in the spring and then again in the fall, but a lot of advice I found said that only fertilize baby trees after they've been in the ground about a year already. So it's time for me to get to work out here. And just so you know, every state has organizations like Trees for Houston. So look into your local area, find out where there might be tree giveaways going on, and give it a try. Have fun gardening, guys. See you later.